Hello dear students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of NIRS of class 7 science. Dear students, in the previous class we were discussing about the concept of simple pendulum. Okay, so the motion of to and fro motion of a pendulum is an example for the oscillatory motion or periodic motion. So what is periodic motion or oscillatory motion? Means the repeated motion of an object with respect to time with equal intervals of time, okay, is known as periodic motion or oscillatory motion. Okay, the time taken by a pendulum to complete one cycle or to complete one oscillation is known as the time period. Okay, so far we have discussed in the previous class. So in today's class, let me explain the remaining part. Okay, so let us start with the activity number 13.2. What's that? Let's see. So set up a simple pendulum, so as shown in the figure 13.4. Okay, you have to set up one simple pendulum which is shown in the figure 13.4. Here you can see. Yes. Okay, so with a thread, okay, you have to set up a simple pendulum with the help of a thread. Here it is made already. Okay, with a thread, a simple pendulum is tied to a string, to a one rigid body. Okay, so tie it with a thread or any string of length nearly 1 meter. Means the length of that string or a thread should be almost 1 meter length. Okay, so let the bob, okay, just what you need to do is switch off any fans nearby. See, the if the motion of any fan is movement of fan is taking place, then it may affect the motion of a bob. Okay, so hence you have to switch it off. Now let the bob of the pendulum comes to the rest at its mean position. So you have to wait. See, you have tied a bob to with help of a thread and it is suspended. So now you leave it that bob of the pendulum. Okay, so till it comes to a rest position or its mean position. Okay, so you have to wait that. So next, mark the mean position of the bob on the floor below it. Okay, for example, so mean position is here, so you have to mark the mean position of the what, the bob. Okay, bob, see, this is the mean position of the bob. Oh, okay, so this is the mean position of the bob, so that you have to mark it on the floor below it. Okay, where it is suspending or any wall behind it, wherever you want to, you can make it a mark. So now you have to measure the time period. Okay, so in order to measure the time period of the pendulum, so we need a stopwatch. We must have a stopwatch to find out what is the time taken for a bob or simple pendulum to complete one oscillation. Okay, for that you must have a stopwatch. So however, if stopwatch is not available with you, you may use any table clock or the wristwatch which you use commonly use it. Okay, so now to set up the pendulum in motion. See, now in its now we have left it freely. The bob of the pendulum is moving slowly and it comes to the rest position and it stands. Now to make that pendulum to move, okay, to set it in motion, so you have to gently hold the bob. Okay, just you have to hold the bob. Okay, gently hold the bob and move it slightly to one side. Just move it slightly to one side. Okay, you have to move it slightly towards the one side like this. Okay, so later on you have to make sure that the string attached to the bob is taut while you displace it. So you have to take care that that string or the thread which is attached to the bob, that is taut while you displace it. Means it should not be like, so it should not be like bent like this. Okay, it should be always straight. That is called as taut. Okay, yes. Now, so make sure that the string attached to the bob is taut, and now release the bob from its displaced position. See, so this is the displaced position now. So now leave it. So this is the displaced position. Now leave it, let it move. Okay, so now leave it, release that bob. Okay, from this position A, release it. Okay, so release the bob from its displaced position, and you have to remember that the bob is not to be pushed when it is released. See, when you release it, you should not push with your hand. this bob should not be pushed like with help of your hand. Okay, you should just release it, that's all. So don't push it, okay, with your hand. Okay, just release it, leave it, so it starts moving. Okay, so you should not touch it, and by applying a force you just release it. Okay, so note the time on the clock when the bob is at its mean position. So when it comes to its mean position, you have to note the time. Okay, then instead of mean position, you may also note down the time when the bob is at one of its extreme position. See, one of its extreme position means from A to B it went. So this is the time period taken, and this is B to A when it moves. This is a extreme position. Okay, note down the time taken by the bob when it reaches the its extreme position. Okay, so then, so later on, remember that. Okay, so the bob is at its mean position. Okay, so instead of the mean position you may also make it move. Okay, but note down that the bob is at its one of its extreme positions, and measure the time the pendulum takes to complete 20 oscillations. You just, what you need to do, you just measure the time. So what is the time taken to measure the so you must measure the time taken to complete for from the bob, okay, by the bob to complete one oscillation. This is A to B, B to A. So like that it should complete 20 oscillations. You have to remember that what is the time taken. Okay, so you have to remember that what is the time taken for the pendulum, okay, to take complete one, not only one oscillation, to complete 20 oscillations, and you have to record those observations. Okay, so in table number 13.2, so the first observation shown in is just an example or just an sample. Okay, so your observation could be different from each other. Okay, so you can repeat this activity continuously for few times and record the observations. So now by dividing the time taken by time taken for 20 oscillations by 20, get the time taken for one oscillation. We will get the, what is the time number of oscillation? 20. So what is the time taken to complete 20 oscillations? 20, suppose. So for one oscillation how much time it takes? So that will be the time period of the pendulum. So that will give you the idea of time period for the one oscillation. So is that time period of your pendulum nearly the same in all cases? It will not be same all the cases. Okay, so you have to note slightly change that in the initial displacement does not affect the time period of the motion pendulum. So initial displacement does not affect any kind of the time period of the pendulum. So nowadays most of the clocks or watches, they have an electric circuit with one or more cells. So most of the watches, okay, nowadays they have electric circuits and with one or more cells. So these clocks are called quartz clocks, we say. Okay, the time measured by the quartz clock is much more accurate than the clocks which you use earlier with the help of cell. So look at the figure. This is 13.2 table. It is very important. So time period of a simple pendulum, how do you calculate? By using the formula. What is that? See, length of the string is 100 centimeter. Okay, so serial number. So what is the time taken for 20 oscillation? See, suppose you allowed it to move, okay, from point to A to B, B to A. Yes, one oscillation completed. Again A to B, it has gone, B to A, it has come. Okay, two oscillation, like that. So what is the time taken for 20 oscillations here? 42 seconds is the first observation. So then how do you find out the time period? So 42 is the time taken for the oscillations. So 42 divided by 20, that is 2.1 second is the time taken for completing one oscillation, okay, by the simple pendulum. So dear students, let me explain the remaining part of the lesson in the next class. So just you make a point of these all concept which I taught now. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.